All right, friends, we are back with my top 5 moments from 2021. I said this last week, but as a reminder, our hope is that the lessons that come out of these sessions will help you on your creator journey. Because Creator Sessions is different in that my goal isn't just to entertain you, it's to encourage and empower you in your artistry. To kick us off with number 5, we are going to start with Sam Tinnesz and his song, Play with Fire. Since Sam's episode premiered, this song really went viral for the second time after Hyun Jin, a member of the Korean boy band Stray Kids, shared a performative dance to this song. This just goes to show that the life of a song isn't always determined right away.
Insane, inside, the danger gets me high. Can't help myself, got secrets I can't tell. I love the smell of gasoline. I light the match to taste the heat. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with fire. I ride the edge, my speed goes in the red. Hot blood, these veins, my pleasure is their pain. I love to watch the castles burn. These golden ashes turn to dirt. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, oh, oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, oh, oh. Watching as the flames get higher. Oh, I've always liked to play with rite of passage, classic havoc, matching the gas tank. Ooh, that's ratchet, unstoppable, legendary animal. Digital justice, now you're gonna know it's hail to the king and queen of the ruckus. Yacht money wired, no denying. Always like to play with fire. Always like to play with. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, oh, oh. I've always liked to play with fire. Oh, 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 oh. I've always liked to play with.
All right, moving on to number 4 with maybe the most inspirational artist we've ever had on this series. Jimmy, or St. James, is one of the artists that I am most proud to have had on this show. And this moment is one of the many reasons why. Take a listen and see what he has to say about committing to your craft.
So with that song, it came out of something I started doing, which was like a practice at my morning pages. And I learned morning pages from J. Cole. J. Cole put an interview out and he was like, I write my morning pages every morning. So I started doing this. And a poem came out where I was discussing like my frustration with the culture and my frustration with not being able to say my piece. And so my frustration with like how my success is effectively determined for like, you know, wouldn't it be nice if you could buy your own man a house, make sure he could retire, have peace, you know what I'm saying? And so these drudgeries that we go through where we work a 9 to 5 and then your pop works a 9 to 5 for his whole life and he tells you, son, you got to go get a job and you work a 9 to 5 your whole life and it's this vicious cycle that don't ever change until somebody interrupts said cycle. That's my job because I have the capacity to think it, therefore I have the capacity to build it. So my job is to change this generational curse of non-progressive thinking. And so I do that. I feel like the greatest medium for that was hip hop because it's our culture's greatest natural resource, in my opinion. I made that journal like a bestie. And so I could tell the bestie anything. So it was just going, right? And the best he's not gonna tell me, yo, these bars are trash. But I do got homeboys, and they was like, yo, these bars are trash. No. They said, because traditionally I'm a vocalist, and they said, yo, dude, don't rap. I don't know if that's your bag. I don't see that on you. Like, you don't gotta rap. And I was like, all right. Should I not? Can I not? Is it because I can't? Well, I don't know. And then everyone else's voice started feeding into my head, you know what I mean? So the first couple trials of it was just like, no, that's not good enough. And I knew I had a standard for what I wanted it to be. So I was like, okay, we can do better than that. I know, because I've done it before. You know what I mean? But when you get into that rhythm, it is very much like a muscle. Writing is very much like a muscle. You put it down too long, you're gonna forget how to do it. So you commit to it, you do it every day, and it never leaves you. And this is difficult when you get a song that hits, or when you finish a record and you're like very proud of that record, you'll listen to it again and you'll not be writing. And you'll be hype on it and you'll not be writing. So you gotta stay humble and be like, right, but I only got here because of my commitment to this pen and pad. So I stay committed to the pen and pad. And that relationship feeds you existentially. So commit, you'll be good, you'll be gold.
I said this in her full episode, but Joy Oladokun might have been the artist that I worked the hardest to book. I wanted to share her gift as much as I could, and not because she needed my help. She definitely did not. Her talent does that all on its own. But I believe the world could be better just by listening to her music. Because one of her gifts is putting music to a feeling, and that helps encourage understanding. Here she is talking about fear of criticism when it comes to writing about the hard things.
I released a song called Who Do I Turn To around the protests of the death of George Floyd. And I was really nervous about putting out a really blatantly political song that I had written with someone else who's not Black. It's funny, like, we wrote the song, and the song, like, it just put words to a feeling that I had wanted to put words to for a long time. But I was just scared, so I was maybe gonna shelve it. And Natalie, my co-writer on the song, she was just really wise in saying that, like, people are going to find a way to misunderstand your intentions no matter what. And the best thing that you can do is just make sure that, like, at your core, at your heart, you know what your mission statement is, and then filter everything that you put out into the world through that. And I am very grateful to her for that advice, because I think I, up until then, had done a lot of writing and working to avoid misunderstanding, and I think it just allowed me this freedom to be like, I do want to be fair and clear about situations and feelings and things, but at the end of the day, it's just the expression and what your expression has to offer to the moment, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be true, and I think that's dope.
We are down to our last two, and I would be remiss if Drew Holcomb wasn't on this list, because so much of this show has been influenced by his work. This moment was prompted by my teammate and storyteller, Issa Adney, and inspired by a lyric in his song, Dragons, that says, "Don't listen to the critics, stand up and bear witness, go slay all the dragons that stand in your way." As a creator herself, I think she wanted to hear Drew's take on how to navigate this for her own development. But it applies to everyone, and is especially important that creators continue working on this skill.
I remember we're on tour with Willie Nelson, and seeing how great of a job he does at giving people what they want while also playing stuff that he loves. So 70% of his show, same with McCartney, is going to be exactly what you'd expect. Whiskey River, On the Road Again. But then he also plays what he wants, and that's a fine line. And so you're just always learning, always growing, always challenging yourself, while also establishing who you are and knowing what knowing that it's your work and you have to be proud of it. And there's such a great balance in, like, being proud of who you are and confident in what you are, but always expanding your creative, capacity by learning from others and challenging yourself. So it's a tough thing to figure out which voices to listen to and which voices to sort of, turn off, especially in social media world. I mean, I think for me, the most important thing is this person someone that I trust and respect? And if they're a stranger or they're not someone you trust and respect, then it's just a thanks so much. Or even sometimes it can be someone you trust and respect that gives you a piece of advice, but you're so confident in what you already know about the work that you just say, well, thank you, I disagree. I remember there's a song called The Wine We Drink, and I played it for a couple different people, and I got the same feedback from all three people, which is, that's a great song. It doesn't really feel like the chorus really lifts, though. It feels more like a verse. And I was just like, sorry, I was just playing you the song. I'm not actually interested in your opinion about it. I know that the song is finished. And they were like, well, okay, whatever. And sure enough, the song has become one of our most well-known and loved songs. And so sometimes you just have to trust your instincts. If you know that something is the way you want it to be, sometimes that negative feedback for me is makes me lean in even further into my creative decision. I'm like, no, there's that famous saying that if you find yourself in the majority all the time, you might need to check yourself, So if everybody thinks that everything you're doing is great, maybe it's time to challenge yourself that maybe you're just making easy work. So there's always that fine balance, and I don't think there's a specific way through it. I think that you have to trust yourself and take what makes sense and what you can work on, what you can challenge yourself with from. That's for a musician, it's a really big deal who you hire as a producer. Because that person is going to have a lot of say over, the direction of your work. So you want to choose somebody that you trust, that you have a good working rapport with. For me, I've always used my band in the studio. I don't hire out studio players, and so I've built this lifelong rapport with Nathan and Rich, especially, who have played on every record I've made since 2006. So I trust them. We fight big time in the studio, but we always know that it's coming from a place of trust, and so we're able to sort of always chart a path forward, even though there's often sort of hills to climb and swamps to get through. So surrounding yourself with people you trust, I think, is the most important piece of what to let in and what to block.
All right, friends, we made it to my number one pick and through 2021, and I know you know what I mean. But that said, if one of these moments really inspired you, make sure to tell us how in the comments below, because this show is really just about that. And while the performances are always amazing, it's what happens in between that's the real gold. So here we have it. My favorite lesson from Creator Sessions 2021 is concluded by a performance and direct encouragement from Judah Akers. I hope this encourages you the way that it encourages me. From Creator Sessions and the rest of the team at ConvertKit, here is to 2022.
I just want to encourage you as a creator. I think one of the biggest gifts in my life, I remember, was when I first started it. I can kind of sing the first song, maybe I'll remember it. I sang this song at church, and feel it down inside, let it all out, let it all out. It's the wrong key, but I can feel it down inside, let it all out, let it all out. That's my first song. It's the first chorus. And I remember jumping off stage, and I probably sang it pretty similarly. It was kind of hard, finding the key or whatever. And I got off stage, and I was really embarrassed, turning red. And one of my mom's friends was there to kind of see it. It was like this special music. It was very. I was literally on the verge of tears. I had embarrassed myself so bad. And this person who was kind of like an aunt to me came up to me and was like, wow, I really feel your spirit coming out when you sing. And it was just a moment for me where I was probably never going to pick up a guitar again. And this person gave me this beautiful gift of putting courage inside of me, which is encouragement. And so if you're here and you're needing some encouragement from creator to creators, I would just say for you to be fully free in who you are and as a writer and or whatever kind of creativity that you have to kind of disarm some of the negative thoughts that can kind of creep in. And for you to fully become the creator that you're meant to be, which I believe is like your God-given right, then you have to be entranced with love and living and operating and breathing love and allowing people when they come up to you and they say kind things or whatever to not necessarily live by those words or whatever, that's unhealthy or whatever, but receiving love and operating out of that love and not fear is the most important like call that we have as creators, because if we are operating from the position of fear or will I ever be good enough or whatever it may be, then it's going to come out in your creations. But when love is sitting in that position, you're free. And you're free to be who you are in whatever season that you're in, whether it be a painful one or a good one. And creations and different things allow all of that stuff to come to the forefront as humans. So you're beautiful. You're a great creator. And just believe that. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect at operating out of love all the time. That's also part of it is like allowing yourself to be human. And, you know, one of the biggest songs, whatever, for us also came with like probably the most negative comments. And my mentor one time said, I'm probably going to butcher this, but paraphrasing, he said, don't let the negative or don't let the positives get to your head and don't let the negatives get to your heart. And I feel like for creatives, that's a great statement, but it's not always the easiest thing to live by. And I have still, like, even through this last season that we've been in, there is this kind of am I enough type question that keep asking myself. So I'm definitely not a fish out of the water when it comes to operating completely in love and believing in myself. But I think that also the permission to give yourself to be human is also really important. So if you're in a season of, should I give this up or whatever, should I stop creating? The answer is no, you should keep creating and keep moving forward. Because there's a lot of beauty yet to be seen from you. This last song, the last record for Judah and the Lion was kind of revolved around a lot of my personal life and, again, kind of healing from these family situations that were happening. And through that came this like very beautiful thing where in meet and greets throughout the tours or whatever, these people were coming up to me and saying really, really kind things, but also really heavy because the contents of the record were a little bit heavier. And so on any given night, a 14-year-old would come up and say, I've been free from self-harm for like a month. And this so-and-so song helped. And for me, it was like, I don't want to be a person that decompartmentalizes that because I want to feel that. But also it felt very heavy on me over the course of 200 shows that we did, because I after it was like, oh, just take a picture. It's like he just said that. It's like, oh no, like I want to like wrap my hands around you and just tell you, all these things, and that probably would be inappropriate. But I think the point is just like it was really sweet, and they were offering me this gift for the reason why I want to make music. I want to hopefully help. My story can help people. But it also became very, very hard. And so I wrote this song kind of as a response to those beautiful people. It's called Beautiful Anyway.
You told me the other day you hate yourself and anxiety, depressed, a mess to death. You'd open up and welcome wide with a smile. They told you it's clinical, that I seem so critical. I wish I could convince the thoughts that you keep on believing were a lie. There you go, feeling so broken and alone. You
I hope you see someday that you are beautiful anyway. You look in the mirror, try to see it clearer. Crazy and amazing you are, and then let it inside. You can be scientific, oh trust me, no I get it, but I won't agree when you tell me you don't deserve a life. There you go, feeling so broken and alone. You walk with your head held so low. You want it given most of the days, and that's okay. But I hope you see someday that you are beautiful anyway. Raise your hands, take a second and breathe in, singing I'm here for a reason. Raise your hands, take a second and breathe in, singing hallelujah, I'm known and loved. Raise your hands, take a second and breathe in, singing I'm here for a reason. Raise your hands, take a second and breathe in, singing hallelujah, I'm known and loved. And away you fly, free with your head held so high, 'cause you never let up the fight. You never gave in on those days in the pain. And that's what makes this life so wonderfully awesome and horribly awful, yet somehow it's beautiful anyway.